Hi, I'm Eva Murphy from Electronic Engineering at IT Sligo, and this is my Leaving Cert Maths Grinds channel. I'll regularly add new videos for both higher and ordinary level maths, so make sure you subscribe below and click the bell icon to be notified of new videos. Right, Modulus Equation, so another section of the algebra course from the Leaving Cert. So when you talk about the modulus of a number, you are talking about those symbols there, the two lines written around either an expression or an equation or the letter X as I've done it here. Okay, now what the modulus means is we take the positive value. Okay, so in other words, if I asked you, I'm going to go back to coordinate geometry, okay? Because it's one of the first places you would have seen it. You would have seen the modulus symbol around the length of PQ. Okay, so what does it mean? Well, if I asked you what distance is it between Cork and Dublin, for example, two of the bigger cities, you would say something like, I don't even know what distance it is, 150 miles. Okay, so you would tell me Cork to Dublin is something like 150 miles. Okay, if I then asked you the distance from Dublin to Cork, you wouldn't tell me minus 150 miles, even though technically it should be something like that because you're going backwards. Okay. And the reason you don't tell me that is that we take distance to be a positive number. Okay, whereas the minus in that case would I suppose signify the direction you're traveling in. But when we're looking at distance, we just take the positive value. It's a bit like if you had a number line. And on your number line, you had 0, 1, 2, 3, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. If I asked you the distance between 0 and minus 2, you would tell me that was a distance of 2. In the same way, if I asked you the distance between 0 and 2, you would tell me that was a distance of 2. So it's kind of like how far do you go on the number line? But we don't use the sign. So there's many cases where it doesn't make sense to use the sign. We just take the absolute number, it's called, which is 2 in this case, not minus 2. So you'll hear it called the positive value, you'll hear it called the absolute value, or the modulus. Okay, area is another one where you just take the positive value. Okay, so again, if you were on a coordinate geometry plane like that, and I drew some sort of a shape down here, and I asked you to find the area of that, okay? Well, chances are, if you find the area of that, you'll get a minus area of the answer just because of its location here on the minus corner of the quadrant, okay? Or here, you might get a minus answer. Okay, it doesn't mean it has a minus area because area is how much space it takes up. So a minus area doesn't make sense. So again, if you look at an area formula, you'll see the modulus symbol around it. Okay, and if I go back to coordinate geometry here, whatever page that's on, you will see just there on area, do you see the two lines here and here? Again, signifying the modulus, just like it's here on the distance or the length of a line formula. Okay, so they are two, I suppose, of the more common places where we just take the positive value. So what does it mean? Well, it means that if I have the modulus of 10, for example, that's 10. If I have the modulus of minus 10, that's also 10. Okay, we just take the positive value. Okay, there's some properties that's really handy when it comes to the modulus. So for example, if you have the modulus of x, for example, equal to a number a, okay, well then x, that number is equal to a, or x can be equal to minus a. Okay, because remember, when we take the modulus of a number and we get the answer, a bit like how I said the modulus of 10 was 10, or the modulus of minus 10 is also 10. So when we take the modulus of a number and we get an answer, the original number may have been positive or negative. Okay. What else? What else? Oh, the squaring rule is really important. Okay, so remember, when you square any number, it will always be positive. Okay, so just like we square 3 squared, we get 9. We square minus 3 squared, we get 9. Okay, so in many cases, we use squaring when we're talking about modulus because we didn't know whether the original number was a positive or a number. But we do know that when we square it, you're always getting a positive number. Okay, so when we take any modulus number and we square it, you're always going to get x squared. Okay, now that's the theory. Let's do a few questions and let's figure out how we use those properties in questions. If you've enjoyed this video, then why not join us in IT Sligo and use maths in practice. In conjunction with industry, we've designed an exciting new program in electronics and self-driving technologies, which uses cutting-edge techniques such as artificial intelligence, computer vision, and virtual and augmented reality. You'll need a H5 in maths to qualify. Check out the link below.